With the transfer window upon us, you will see some new additions in this Somerset Eagles match. First of all, though, Dennis the Menace got us off to a beautiful start 4 minutes in. We then went and doubled up, Steve Jackson playing it back to the Lever Rock Star to make a lovely ball through to Dennis the Menace to get his brace. No, it did not stop there though. Damien Ming then went provider, playing it across to the Bathtub, who went and drilled himself in a goal, and our third for the game. In the 80th minute though, we did concede. Yes, Wade went and whipped one across for Lewis to come in at the back post and poke one past Hall, but not to be left without a goal. Nussum went and played the ball down, got it across, and after a bit of ping pong, Damien Ming got himself a goal on the 92nd minute. So, as you can see, yet again, another one-sided game. 28 shots to their 1, 12 on target to their 1, a 2.86 XG to a 0.49, 9 corners to 3, 13 fouls to 16, 1 yellow card to 0, 83% passing to 76, 55% pass possession to 45. As you can see, we have a few new additions. But speaking of additions, let's head on into Football Manager. Let's have a little look at our different squads, and let's have a little better look in depth at the players in our first team. Okay everyone, so last episode we established we had quite a few new acquisitions coming in this episode. Now, originally that was 37, but I even added an extra goalkeeper to make it a solid 38 new additions to our squad. So what does that mean for our starting lineup, and what does that mean for our B teams and under 20s? Well, we've added quite a bit of depth in every position, as you might imagine. So first of all, the under 20s. This is how the under 20s look. There's quite a few new additions. I'm not going to go through our new additions in the B team or the under 20s, but I will show you. So if you do know the specific players, you now know where they are in our team. So this is what our under 20s look like. We've got quite a few people with plenty of potential going forward. So that is nice to see for the future of this club. In terms of the B team, well, we added a lot of players who aren't particularly good. So if we just sort them by position, this is what it looks like. We've got 4 goalkeepers, we've got a bunch of outfield players from here, there and everywhere, quite frankly. Mostly Bermudan, of course, but as you can see, we've got some from Haiti and elsewhere. Jamaica, a couple from Jamaica, and Aruba. So yeah, lots of different places where they have come from. In terms of ability, these are our top players for our B team. Some of these are actually in our main team. Them top 3 are all in our main team. They're just allowed to play for the B team because we have too much depth in those positions. So Kalen Miners has been dropped to the B team so he can get some games. Reeves and Mackay, both new additions to the squad. Very solid strikers, as you can see. 3-star each, but they have been dropped to the B team so they can get some games. Now, in terms of the senior squad, well, the senior squad has had a little bit of a tweak. We'll start off with the previously mentioned B team players. So Mackay, he's a striker, 32 years of age, 11 caps. He's an important player, although he's probably more of a backup for us, to be honest. 3-star potential. If we look at his advance forward, he's pretty darn decent at that position. His history, as you can see, well, he was at SV Juventus for a while, went to Flamingo, came to us, in fact, on a free transfer. We dropped him to the B team, and now he's back in the main team because I couldn't decide where to put him. So he has come to us from Bonaire. That is Mackay, our first addition at striker. We then have Reeves. Now, Reeves is a 3-star, but he's got 3.5-star potential. Only 23 years of age. He scored 3 goals for the Cayman Islands in 11 appearances. Again, a very solid striker. He's got great dribbling and finishing. His physical is pretty darn good as well, and his off the ball is lovely to see as well. He's going to be one pretty much for the future of this club. As you can see, spent his entire career in the Cayman Islands playing for the elite team, where he got 22 goals in 13 games that season. Jesus, only 5 in 15 when we acquired him, but still a solid striker nevertheless. Now, in terms of starters, we're just going to quickly swap this back. We have Coffee. As you can see, our defence has not changed. Coffee is our only addition to the starting lineup. He is mainly a central midfielder, although I'm going to use him as a central attacking midfield player. As you can see, he's got great passing, great vision, decision and off the ball, as well as a great first touch. 3-star, 3.5-star potential, only 22 years of age, 2 goals in 13 international appearances. He was at Flamingo for his entire career, 1 goal in 11 appearances, 2 assists and a 6.76. Again, hasn't been having the greatest off seasons, but he has potential. Now, my favourite one of our new additions is the one and only Carlos Edwards. Those of you who've watched pretty much any Championship, League 1, League 2 football should know who Carlos Edwards is. He's a 42-year-old legend. Trinidad and Tobago, 94 caps, 4 goals. He's down as a regular starter for us. He's not. He's going to be a bench warmer most likely, unless Castle gets an injury. Now, in terms of his history, well, he's had a long and lengthy one, that is for sure. He started off at Defence Force of all places. He then went to Wrexham for 125 grand when they was in League 2. He played for them for quite a while before going on a free transfer to Luton to play in the Championship. He then moved up to the Premier League, where he had a 1.4 million transfer to Sunderland when they were in the Championship. Played a couple of seasons in the Premier League, went out on loan to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Championship before returning back to Sunderland and doing absolutely nothing. They then went and sold him to Ipswich in the Championship, where he stayed for quite a while before going out on loan and then eventually going on a free transfer to Millwall, who then dropped to League 1. He then returned on a free transfer to Mapau. He then went to Central, went to Woodbridge back in England, stayed at Woodbridge for a couple of seasons, didn't do a whole lot. As you can see, there was actually a gap in there for 18-19. Can't quite remember what happened in 18-19, but he didn't do anything in that year. Woodbridge was his home, though, in between either side. And then Bury Town was his previous club in 2021. Made 5 appearances for them, got a 5.44, but didn't really particularly do anything. Now, he is going to be sitting on our bench. He's going to be our superstar off the bench. He's 42 years of age, as I've previously mentioned. And who else in our team is 42 years of age? Well, Damon Ming. And we all know how Damon Ming's been playing. A 7.5, our second best player, only beaten by Aaron Dennis the Menace, who of course has 11 goals in 8 appearances. So that is the roundup of our transfers. It is time to crack on with today's game. So without further ado, I will see you over at the stadium in just a second. Right, everyone, match day is upon us, but before we delve into this one, let's have a little look at the other game that's going on. So we have X Roads versus Danby Town, that is 7th place versus 4th. And then, of course, we have our game, which is Devonshire Courts down in 8th versus ourselves up in 1st. Now, we have a beautiful goal difference. We have 19 compared to the Somerset Trojans down on 9, but we have a game in hand and a 4-point gap. So if we lose this one, we're still going to be top, but they are going to close the gap just a little bit. We're going to only be 4 ahead, but if we can win this one today, of course, we will extend that back out to a 7-point gap, arguably 8 with the goal difference that we have. And we are going to look to do that. Now, before we do this, we're going to accept this about Angelo Simmons. Angelo Simmons, a great striker for Danby Town. We're going to acknowledge this one. And then we shall delve into the tactical meeting. As you can see, Danby Town managing to win 2-1 in their game, thanks to Mundy getting a late goal. So that's got them in 4th place with 13 points. A point behind the Rams and 3 points ahead of the Cougars. Looks like it's a top 4 race and everyone else is battling it out for the rest of the table. But for now, we're expected to go from a positive to a balanced mentality. Not going to do that. We've got 427 tickets sold out of an 800 capacity. Very good pitch condition here today at the Devonshire Colts. Now, it's a wet 14 degrees Celsius and it's gusty. So it is the weather for them to possibly get an upset. In terms of our team, though, it is very much unchanged. We've got Hall in goal, a back line of the Bathtub, Leverock, Star, Evans and Castle. On the right-hand side is the Ming Dynasty himself, the Fairy Ferbert on the left, and the Coffee King sitting in between. Steve Jackson and Mr. Bean lining up in central midfield with Aaron Dennis the Menace up front. A bench consisting of Simmons, Edwards, Jago, Bascom, Dr. Jones, the Goat, Gautier, and Nussum. So without further ado, let's submit the team. I was tempted a little bit to give Carlos Edwards his debut here today starting, but you know what? If we're winning and we're having a good game, I think I might just bring him on just so he does get that debut. So go out there, carry on from where you finished last match. Dennis is motivated by that, so is Ming, and so is Mr. Bean. So let's crack on with this one. I will say we could do with some more better central midfielders. Currently, they're playing a 5-3-2, a rather defensive approach, if I do say so myself. In terms of our team, we are, of course, going for that 4-2-3-1. A nice solid formation, arguably the best in the game. Now, I'm just going to pause just a second, as I can see that my screen is having a bit of an issue with the green screen due to it coming in a bit darker. So, I'll see you fine folks back in just a second. Okay, my apologies. Green screen lighting balance can be a little bit of a pain in the backside sometimes. Sometimes you have to have your light on, sometimes you don't. So, Fairy will play it across to the Ming. Unfortunately, though, they've cleared it away. And what on earth was you doing on the halfway line, Leverock? You killed a man. Fortunately, though, you was not punished for doing so. Coffee will nod it down to the Bean machine. The Bean whips it in. Unfortunately, though, it's cleared away and Talbot gets it out. Castle, though, will collect the ball, plays it to Mr. Bean. It's now Steve Jackson. He finds Castle here on the right-hand side. He whips one across. Oh, Fairy's shot is blocked, but it's come back out to the Bathtub. Can the Bathtub do? Oh, yes, he can. Jaylon Bathtub Baffair has just gone and got his second goal of the season. And what a beautiful goal that was. Jesus, Jaylon. Jesus, that was a shot and a half. Wade lazily clearing it away. Jaylon will collect it. Foggo does not put any pressure on him, and Dietz gets beat at his far post as Jaylon drills a lovely shot, an absolute beauty. Ming now whipping one in. It's nodded down. Coffee, it's saved. Pull back out to the Ming though. Ming whips one in. It's cleared away and it's with Talbot. Talbot now gets it out. It's going to be Steve Jackson to collect this one though. He gets it to Jaylon. Jaylon holds up the ball and that's the end of that highlights. Okay, Ming. Oh, hits the wall from this one. He will collect it himself, though. He's got Dennis the Menace in support instead, though. He goes himself again, and the cross is blocked. Now, we have a throwing, unfortunately, though. Not interesting enough for us to watch. This one might be, though. Ming throws it in to Mr. Bean. He gets it all the way back to Evans on the halfway line. Evans, lovely ball across to Jaylon. Jaylon up to Fairy. Fairy tries to whip one in. Oh. Perhaps that might have even been a shot. Who knows? Regardless, the goalkeeper will collect. He will hoof it up field, and it is with Brewer on the ball. Brewer tries to get it up. Steve Jackson nods it down, though. Mr. Bean in possession. What can he do? He's got Coffee in front. Coffee finds Ming. Ming gets a shot off, but it was an awful one, Ming. We need more power than that from you, my friend. I know you're getting on, but we do need a bit more power behind your shot. Aaron Dennis whips one in. The Fairy cannot get onto it. Jackson gets it over to Bean. Steve Jackson holding up the ball nicely. Finds Castle. Castle, lovely ball down the wing to Damien Ming. Damien Ming whips one in and it is cleared away for a corner. The Ming Dynasty shall take this. He whips it in at the near post. Steve Jackson, though, unfortunately, cannot get his header into the back of the net. And it remains 1-0 here, 20 minutes in. Now, Castle will collect and plays it up. It is intercepted though by Dowling. It's now with Talbot. Zuil will come at us. Plays it back to Foggo. Foggo on this right hand side. Back to Brewer. Brewer tries the ball over the top, but Evans instead clears it away. Dennis nods it down to Ming. Ming coming at Dowling. Can Dowling get in a tackle, or will the Ming dynasty get past him? Ming whips one in. Oh, it flew over the head of Aaron Dennis, but he was fouled, and it's now a penalty. Jaylon, the bathtub buffer, steps up. Can he get himself a brace from left back? Come on, Jaylon, you've got this, my friend. Yes, not the best penalty. It was kind of an ugly penalty, if I'm honest. It was soft. It was near the middle of the goal. A 5-year-old could have probably saved that, to be honest. Dietz, instead of running the other way, just fall over to your left-hand side and you would have probably saved it. But we'll take it. A goal is a goal. And Jaylon has himself a brace. Now, the real question is, can Jaylon get himself a hat-trick in this one? Well, it's only one way to find out. Damien Ming, though, right now is going to play it back to Evans on the halfway line. Evans plays it up to Castle. He's made another run on this right-hand side. Nice 1-2 with Ming. Whips one in. Dennis, the menace, with a free header. Unfortunately, it is over. And they have a goal kick here on the 22nd minute. It is now played down the right-hand side. Dowling over to the Brewer. Brewer up to Dowling. Dowling tries the ball over the top. He doesn't find anyone though, and Dante Leverockstar will keep this one in play. It's up. Instead, though, he's given it straight back to them. It's Wade now with Commission. I'm not even going to try and say that guy's name. I'll be honest, the G just makes it pointlessly irritating. Ferry the Thurbert will come down this left-hand side. Thurbert whips it in. Ming back post. Lovely save. It's cleared away, but Steve Jackson will collect this one. Jaylon is waiting. He whips one in. Oh, and the goalkeeper will just collect this. Nice little bit of build-up play. They are yet to have a shot, by the way, here on the 28th minute. Besides that one shot in the game between episodes, this is like 3 games in a row without them getting a shot. There's been like one shot against us. Our goalkeeper has fallen asleep. Steve Jackson, though, has not. He has found a beautiful header into the bottom corner from that beautiful free kick of Ming's. Let's have another look at this one. Ming, back post. Steve Jackson just bullet headers it. Bottom right-hand corner. And we have a 3-goal lead. I think Edwards might be getting himself some game time in this one. Mr. Bean tries to play it in. It's cleared away. Evans will collect it here on the halfway line, though. He plays it all the way back to Hall. Hall, of course, not having much to do in goal because they are not shooting. Our defence is so rock solid. Our goalkeeper doesn't even need to be there. In fact, he could just go and have a little chat with the fans, you know. Have a little talk with our wonderful fans and enjoy the game from his net. But Hall plays it up to Jaylon Baffer. Baffer plays it to Jackson. It's now back to Jaylon once more. Coming down this left-hand side, Jaylon has been in deadly form here today and he's in fact been tripped up. But the Fairy will collect the ball, plays it into Ming at the back post. Oh, Ming. Get your shot on target, my friend. Get it on target. But that's the end of that highlight. We are now 5 minutes away from the end of the half. And Zuil! That came from absolutely nowhere. Poor clearance. We wasn't paying attention. And we was punished very much like we was in that game between episodes. Hall just kicks it away. Dowling gets it. Volleys it up to Zuil, who himself just places it in that left-hand side of the goal. And they pulled one back. Okay, so Dietz, he tries to build from the back. Can they get themselves a second goal and get back into this match? Not with efforts like that. He's played it straight out to Castle. Castle has Mr. Bean behind him if he wishes to use him. He whips it in himself instead and wins a corner. Now, Ming, can he do anything with this? Goes to the back post. Dennis the Menace's shot is blocked. Fairy will collect this. Ferbert and it's a save. That was not the best of shots, Thurbert. I expect a little bit better in the future, but right now I'm not too upset. It's 3-1. Now it's with Steve Jackson. He gets it to Coffee. Steve Jackson, Coffee making lovely 1-2s here. Thurbert coming down this left-hand side, tries to get past Foggo. He does have Jalon behind him if he wishes. Whips it in instead though, and Ming out the back post. What a drilled effort into that top right corner. Ming has just made it 4 on the half. And I think it's safe to say, ladies and gents, we are going to pick up another victory here today. 17 shots to their 110 on target to their 1, a 2.59 XG to a 0.16. 3 corners to 0, 2 fouls to 6, 0 yellow cards apiece, 88% passing to 74, 66% possession to 34. But let's head to the dressing room. Let's tell the lads, very pleased with that effort, because we are. That was a great effort. Everyone is putting in a good performance. And Castle, although he's on a 7.4, will probably be going off so Carlos Edwards can get a bit of game time. So, Foggo plays it back to Brewer. Brewer tries a ball over the top. Leverock, though, will nod it away. Ferry will not get onto it, and that is the end of that highlight. Now, it's a goal kick for them. It comes down the right-hand side. Will Jalon get it? No. Foggo will nod it on. It is intercepted, though, by Leverock, who plays it back to Hall. Now, what will Hall do from this position? He tries to play it straight up. It's to Dennis. Dennis plays it back to Mr. Bean. He gets it over to Thurbert. Thurbert coming down this left-hand side does have Jalon behind him if he wishes to use him. Instead, though, he's going alone. He whips one in. Back post. Ming does not get onto it. It's cleared away. Castle, though, cannot get to it before Talbot. Talbot coming at us. Castle tries to make a tackle. In fact, he eventually wins the ball and plays it across to Thurbert. Thurbert, maybe he's going to use Jalon on the overlap. No, he's going to get dispossessed instead, and Foggo will try a ball up. Leverock, though, intercepts it, nods it down for Coffee. It's now with Thurbert. Lovely ball through to Dennis the Menace, across to Coffee. Coffee from range! That is why we brought you in, Coffee. What a beautiful effort. Smashing it. What? A beautiful drilled shot from Coffee. Thurbert playing it over to Dennis the Menace. Nice little ball over to Coffee. Coffee should not be even thinking of shooting from there, but he don't care. He's going to drill it into the bottom corner. And that was some filthy football. Some very filthy football indeed. I'm happy with that one, though. Thank you, Coffee. Ming, though, will throw it in. Coffee whips one in, and it's a beautiful floated header by Thurbert. That's his 3rd goal of the season. An assist to go with his goal as well for Coffee. And everything is coming up Robin Hood right now. It is 6-1, 9 games, 9 victories at the moment, unless they can turn around a 5-goal deficit in the last half an hour of this game. Now, 5 substitutes remain at the moment. As you can see, we've got goals across our attacking mid. We've got 1 in central mid and 1 at left back. Sorry, 2 at left back. We've got goals everywhere, but we don't have a goal at right back. So, Castle, rather disappointed with you. We're going to bring on Edwards. I joke. Castle, you've been playing great. I'm not disappointed in the slightest. But I would like to give Carlos Edwards a bit of game time. Another player I would like to give a bit of game time is Jago. Not because he's been playing particularly well, just by the fact that he's been complaining about a lack of game time. And as our backup in central defence, we would like to keep him on side a little bit. So we'll bring him on for Evans. Leverock, although rated the same, I think has probably played a little bit better than Evans in this one. And then we'll hold on to that 3rd substitute. As you can see, we've got 3 players with over an 8 rating. 4 players on 1 goal, 1 player on 2 goals. This has been a demolishing. Now, can we make it 7? That is the real question. Can we get a 7th goal in this one? We have half an hour to work with. We've got 2.9 XG. We've scored 6 out of our 13 on target. That's a great bit of conversion so far. Foggo will throw it in to Brangman. Brangman back to Foggo. Foggo holding up the ball nicely. Tries to chip one over our defence. Leverock, though, is going to see that and intercept it. Mr. Bean plays it over to Thurbert. He's got Jalon in support. I would love it if Jalon could get himself a hat-trick. Come on, Fairy. Plays it back for Jalon. Jalon whips one in. Dennis the Menace, keep your header down, my friend. You have struggled. And you know what, Dennis? You know what? I said you're not untouchable. Nussum is going to come on. He would have finished that. And Nussum is now going to get the opportunity to shine in this one. But Cox, for then will throw it into Dowling, back to Cox. Dowling holding up the ball nicely, gets it to Brangman. Brangman holding up the ball, pulls it back for Tucker. Tucker on the halfway line, tries the ball over the top. St. Jago will nod it down though, only as far as Cox, who intercepts it. Dowling pulls it back yet again for Tucker. He tries the ball over the top. This time he actually finds Talbot. Lovely block by Jago though. We come on the counter-attack. Unfortunately though, the highlight did not amount to anything, and thus it ended. So, final 10 minutes of this game. We currently have a 6-1 lead, and we have an over 3 XG. Can we make it a 3.5? We're up to 3.4. Can we get it up past that 3.5 spot? Probably not, as we are in the 92nd minute and there is only 2 additional minutes. The ball has gone out of play. It is our throwing. Carlos Edwards looks like he's going to go take it, but there's no time for him to take the throwing as we win this game 6-1. 29 shots to their 3. They've actually managed to get more than 1 shot, which, considering how our defense has been, is actually pretty darn decent. 16 on target though to their 1. A 3.41 XG in the end to a 0.29. 7 corners to 0. 5 fouls to 14. 0 yellow cards apiece. 86% passing to 74. 64% possession to 36. As you can see, 8s across the board for our attacking mid. An 8 for Fairy Fairbert. An 8.3 for the Coffee. An 8.9 for the Ming Dynasty himself. Baffer, I don't know how he only got an 8.6 with his brace, but the best performer is Ming with his goal and an 8.9 in this one. Nobody particularly let the side down. Yes, Edwards only got a 6.6, but let's be honest, he didn't really have much game time to work with in this. Now, I'm very pleased with the results and the way he played, because a 6-1 victory is pretty darn decent, especially considering we now have more than double the goal difference of Trojans. So, that is a beautiful game. And as we reach the almost halfway point of the season, we are on 27 points out of 9 games. We are unbeaten. The real question, though, is, will we end up going 10 from 10? Well, you'll have to find out when we do our 2 catch-up games in the next one, because we are going to play the Bermudan FA Cup second round in our next episode. So we're going to jump past the St. George Colts, who are of course down in 11th. The Zebras, who are actually bouncing back, are in 9th place at the moment. They had a solid win last time I looked, but we are going to come back for the FA Cup in the next one. So I hope you all have had a lovely day. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.